Good morning, friends. So now let's start with the revision of chapter 2, dynamics of competitive strategy, and in that question number 1, competitive landscape. Again, this is a new syllabus topic. It was not there in the old syllabus. Now, what is a competitive landscape? Competitive landscape means knowing about your competitors, to know about your competitors. But to know about your competitors, you need to keep an eye on your competitors, and keeping an eye on your competitor is called as competitive intelligence. Again, what is competitive landscape? Competitive landscape means knowing about your competitors. Knowing about your competitors, but to know about them, you need to keep an eye on them. You need to keep an eye on them. Keeping an eye on your competitors is called as competitive intelligence. That means you need to apply competitive intelligence for competitive landscape. Now, how many steps are there? How many steps are there to understand the competitors or competitive landscape? There are 5 steps. How many steps? 5 steps. First step is identify your competitors. See who all are your competitors, how strong they are, how weak they are. You should be aware of the market share. Second, understand the competitors' product and services. See what product and services they are offering. What is making them more powerful? What customers are liking in their product and in their services. Third, determine the strength of your competitors. See what strength is of the competitors. Why are they so powerful? Getting my point? Fourth, what is the weakness of the competitor? It's very important to know the weakness of the competitors, because you cannot touch anybody's strength, but you can attack on the weakness. So it's very important to know the weakness of the competitors. And last is put all the information together. Put all the information together and then make your own strategy. That means who are your competitors, what product and services they are offering, what is their strength, what is their weakness, what is their strength, what is their weaknesses, and together put all the 4 informations together and make your strategy. And this whole is called as competitive landscape. Am I clear? Can I go see ball? It's revision. Assuming tomorrow is your paper, and so I'm just brushing up the topic fast. Am I clear? If you want to go in, then you need to buy the pen drive. Am I clear? Can I go in? Okay. Question number 2 we'll see afterwards. Come to question number 3. Question number 3. I hope you're with me. Okay. Now, how to formulate a sound strategy? How to formulate a sound strategy? I've already taught you that to formulate a sound strategy, you need to do what? You need to do analysis of the environment. Which environment? External as well as internal both. External as well as internal both. And after doing external environment analysis, you will come to know about opportunities and threats. After doing internal environment analysis, you will come to know about strengths and weaknesses. And after doing SWOT, you can formulate a sound strategy. That means strategy formulation is never done by opinion, never done by good instinct, never done by creative thinking. I hope you're with me. Am I clear? You need to make strategy only by doing sound analysis or solid analysis of the environment, both external and internal. Am I clear? Question number 3 clear? Now question number 4. Question number 4. I hope you're with me. What is question number 4? Next question what should come to our mind is, ma'am, when you're saying that we have to do what? External environment analysis. In that what we need to do? In that what we need to do? In that you need to know the industry and competitive analysis. In that you need to know industry and competitive analysis. I hope you're with me. Industry and competitive analysis. And when I say industry and competitive analysis, these are the 7 issues. These are the 7 issues which you need to consider while doing industry and competitive analysis. Now, we'll be going one issue in depth below. But again, I'm saying it's a revision. It will be very fast, as if you are just, you know the whole subject, you're just brushing up, just revising with me. Am I clear? I'm not teaching anything over here. I'm just revising what you know everything. Am I clear? Okay. What is the first issue? What is the first issue? The first issue is dominant economic features of the industry. What is the first issue? Dominant economic features of the industry. What am I dominating? Ruling, controlling. What am I economic? Financial position. To understand that every industry has some dominating features. Every industry has some dominating economic features. Before entering that industry, you should be aware. I am not saying don't enter, but what I'm trying to say is prepare and enter. Homework, do your homework and then enter into the industry. Am I clear? So let's come to dominant economic feature. Dominant economic feature. Now, in dominant economic feature, how many points are there? 11. How many points are there? 11. First point, scope of competitive rivalry. Scope of competitive rivalry. That means see how big is your competitor. Are they local level? Are they regional level? Are they national level? Are they international level? Because the competitor difficult to compete. Again, I'm not saying don't enter, but do your preparation. Be ready that you are in a position that you can face the competitor and then enter. Second, for a second, market growth rate. Write the meaning of the term. Market growth rate means what? Demand for the product. Write the meaning of the term. Market growth rate means what? Demand for the product. Simple. Before entering into any industry, you should be knowing about the demand. If demand is there, enter. Demand is not there, don't enter. Am I clear? Am I clear? C point. Business life cycle. Just right there. Right there. Refer question number 14. I will be doing this with question number 14 in the same chapter. Business life cycle or product life cycle. Just for your just little understanding, if I say product life cycle, how many phases? If I say what? Product life cycle, take two axes. Take two axes, x axis and y axis, right over your time and right over your sales. And this is what? This is the life cycle of your product. The first phase is called as introduction phase. The second phase is called as growth phase. This phase is called as maturity phase. And this phase is called as decline phase. I hope you're getting my point. Am I clear? So how many phases are there in a life cycle? 4. Introduction, growth, maturity and decline. On x-axis you have time, on y-axis you have sales. Again, I'm saying I'll be going in depth when I'll be doing question number 14, but yes, you should be knowing this, that before entering into the industry, see where the product is there on the life cycle. Is it at introduction phase, growth phase, maturity phase and decline phase? Am I clear? Okay. Next point, D point, number of rivals. See how many rivals are there? What are the sizes? E point, number of buyers. How many buyers are there? F, types of distribution channels. Again, distribution channel plays a very important role. How good your product is, if it does not reach to the hands of customers, it's of no use. Who ensures that? Distribution channels ensure that your product reaches in the hands of end consumer. In that case, you need to see whether you have access to distribution channels or not. Next, G point, whether product and services of rivals firm are highly or essentially differentiated or weakly differentiated. Understand karo, if assume karo my product and my rival product is weakly differentiated. When I say weakly differentiated, that means there is no differentiation, there is exactly same. Exactly same. In that case, now we both are having cutthroat competition, because when the product is same, from whom the buyer is going to buy? The one who is charging less. The one who is charging less. I hope you are getting my point. Am I clear? And second, it may happen that you and I, we are in the same business, still we both are having essentially different product. For example, assume karo, I and my competitor, we both are in soap business and I am selling Lux and he is also selling Lux. Now we both are selling Lux. No differentiation. Customer for customer, I and my competitors are indifferent. You will buy, customers will buy from the one who is charging less. Presume I am selling Lux, Rexona and Hamam and my competitor is selling what? Johnson baby soap. Now being in soap business, still we both are into highly different product. So my presence won't affect my competitor. My competitor's presence won't affect me. Am I clear? Next, H point, whether key industry participants are clustered in a particular location. So you must have always observed vegetable market, fish market, fruit market. That means the industry participants are clustered in a particular location. So if you are entering into a business where the participants are in a particular location, you also have to be in the same location. Next, learning by doing. Just write the refer question 13. Refer question 13. Learning by doing. Again, for just a simple knowledge, what is learning by doing? Learning by doing means what? Experience curve. The more you do, the more you learn. The more you do, the more you learn. Your experience increases, your efficiency increases, and what comes down? Cost per unit comes down. Am I clear? Am I clear? So what is learning curve? Learning by doing means the more you do, the more you learn. The more you learn, your efficiency increases, waste decreases, and cost per unit will come down. This is called as experience curve. Next, capital requirement. You should know how much money is required to enter, because if too much money is required to enter, entry becomes difficult, and if too much money is already invested, exit becomes difficult. And last, see industry profitability. What is the profitability of that industry? If it's above par, enter. If it's below par, don't enter. So these 11 points are what? These 11 points are the dominant economic features of an industry which you should be aware before entering that industry. Am I clear? So out of 7 issues, we're done with issue number 1. What is issue number 1? Dominant economic feature. Now what is the second issue? What is second issue? Nature and strength of competition. See, every issue has one question. Nature and strength of competition. To come to question number 4b, nature and strength of competition. This topic I will be doing with chapter 5, question number 1. Chapter 5, question number 1, nature and strength of competition. I hope you're with me. I hope you're with me. Now, just for your understanding, before entering into an industry, you should know the nature. Nature means what? Types. You should know the nature, types of competitors, and see what is their strength, how powerful they are. Again, same reason, I'm not saying don't enter, but do your homework and then enter. Am I clear? We'll be going in depth. I'm not going to teach it here. I'll be teaching it with chapter 5 only. What is the third issue? Triggers of change. To come to question number 4c. Come to question number 4c. Explain the term triggers of change and driving force. Triggers of change and driving force. See, let's understand first driving force. What is driving force? Driving force are the most dominating forces which affects the industry structure and the competitive environment. If that has happened, any sort of driving force has happened, it will affect the whole industry. In that case, you need to change yourself immediately. If you will not change yourself immediately, forget success, you won't be able to survive. For example, change in technology. Change in technology is one of the driving force. Change in technology is one of the driving force. If technology has changed, it will affect the whole industry structure as well as the competitive environment. In that case, you need to adapt that change immediately, because that is driving force. It is driving you. Am I clear? Am I clear? This is called as what? Driving force. What's next? Triggers of change. Okay, what is triggers of change? See, every industry has some new trends and new developments. Every industry has trends and new developments. Now, here they're saying that you need not require to change immediately, but you can change as per your own convenience. You can change gradually, and that type of change is called as triggers of change. Am I clear? So, I believe this question is important from MCQ point of view. Am I clear? Can I go ahead? Let's question number 4C clear. Come to next issue. Issue number 4. Identifying the companies that are strongest and weakest in position. An important question from exam point of view. Identify the companies that are strongest or weakest in position. Come to question number 4D. Very, very important from exam point of view. The companies to identify the companies that are strongest or weakest in position is called as strategic group mapping. Strategic group mapping helps me to identify the companies that are strongest as well as weakest both. Keep this in mind. This question can come in MCQ that strategic group mapping helps only in strongest, no, helps only in weakest, no, none of the above, no, both for A and B, yes. Am I clear? Strategy group mapping helps me to identify the companies that are strongest and weakest in position. So understand karo. For example, tell me, it's very important for me to know who are the strongest competitor and who are the weakest competitor, because by doing that I will focus only on strong competitor and I will not pay attention weak competitors. I hope you get your point. समझ में आ रहा है? So let's understand how. Strategy group mapping says that, I hope you're with me. How will you do? The procedure for constructing strategy group map. What is strategy group map saying? First, see how in your business who all are your competitors. Who all are your competitors? List down all your competitors. One. Second, see the competitive characteristics. The competitive characteristics, that means on what ground are you competing with your competitors. Example, if I ask you people, on what grounds do you buy mobile phones? So I buy mobile phones in the price and the features. I can say price and quality. Then price and quality are the competitive characteristics of that business. Am I clear? Second point, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a two variable map. I'm going to make a two variable map, x-axis and y-axis. On x, what I'm going to do, I'm going to write those competitive characteristics over here. For example, price and quality. Price and quality are the two competitive characteristics on which you are judging the competitors. Am I clear? On which customers are buying the product. To keep price and quality on X and Y respectively. Now, what are you going to do? You're going to plot the firms on this graph. For example, if I say Apple, high price, high quality. Am I clear? Premium price because they're giving something different, something unique. I hope you're with me. So what is Apple over here? Apple is at high price, high quality. What I'm going to do, I am going to plot the firm on this graph by using their characteristics. For example, suppose OnePlus compared to Apple, price is less and quality is different. Am I clear? Not the same. So I will keep OnePlus below. By this, I'm going to assign the firms on this graph. If two firms have the same characteristics, suppose A company and B company has same features, same quality, same price, I will be giving them the same space. I will be giving them the same space. For example, if in the class two students have got the same marks, I'll be giving them the same rank. If I and you both have got, suppose out of 800, 650 and 650 is rank number 10th. So you and me, we both will be having 10th rank. That means we both are the same space. Am I clear? Am I clear? So what I have done first, I have taken two axes, X and Y. On X and Y, I have written the competitive characteristics. Then I started plotting the firm on the graph using the competitive characteristics. Then if the firms have the same characteristics, I have given them the same space. Now, I will be taking the whole industry revenue. Suppose Apple is over here, A, B companies over here, C, D, E, F companies are here. Am I clear? I hope you're with me. Now what I'm going to do, I am going to take the whole industry revenue. I will be taking the whole industry revenue, and in that I will be seeing the groups revenue. How many groups do I have? 1, 2, 3. This total three groups is a part of my industry. So I'll be taking the whole industry revenue. In that, I will be taking the group's revenue, and higher the I will draw a circle around the group. Higher the revenue, bigger will be the circle. Suppose this is 1, 2, 3. Am I clear? By this, a layman, who is a layman, who doesn't know what we have done. By this, a layman can also say what we have done. They'll say, ma'am, okay, the company which is coming in this circle is the biggest circle, that means highest revenue. That means these are your biggest competitor. Am I clear? Am I clear? This is called as strategic group mapping. Again, I am saying we are doing a revision. Am I clear? It is, I'm assuming over here you know things and we're just revising it. Can I go ahead? So how many steps are there? 4 steps. Identify the competitive characteristics. Plot the firm. Second point, on a two variable map using this characteristics. Third, assign firms that follow the same strategies, same group. And last, draw a circle around each group, making the circle proportional to the size of group's respective share of total industry sales revenue. Am I clear? कोई problem यहाँ तक? Can I go ahead? That means we have done with question number 40, the fourth issue of industry and competitive analysis. So now let's come to the fifth issue, likely strategic moves of rivals. Fifth issue, likely strategic moves of rivals. Likely strategic moves of rivals means what? Keeping an eye on the rivals. And keeping an eye on the rivals is called as competitive intelligence. Keeping an eye on rivals is called as competitive intelligence. You should know who are your competitors, what is their strength, what is their weakness, what product and what services they are offering, in what they're good at, what is the next strategy, what are they going to do next. This keeping an eye is called as competitive intelligence. Likely strategic moves of rivals. Am I clear? Am I clear? Is the fifth issue clear? So let's come to sixth issue. What is the sixth issue? What is the sixth issue? If you see up, key factors of competitive success. Key factors of competitive success. So come to question number 4. F. Key factors of competitive success. Now what is this? Every industry has a key success factor. Key to success. Every industry has a key success factor, key to success. Before entering that industry, you should be knowing the key to success. That key to success will take you to the next level of success. It is just not going to help you survive. It is going to take you to the next level of success, and that is called as key success factor. Am I clear? Am I clear? So simple. And before entering into any industry, you should be knowing the key to success. And if you have it, nothing like it. If you don't have it, develop it and then enter. Am I clear? Key success factor. And what's the last issue? The last issue, prospects and financial attractiveness of industry. Prospects and financial attractiveness of an industry. Simple. Before entering into any industry, you should know the future prospects of that industry. You should know the future prospects of this industry, whether you have prospects or not, whether this industry is financially attractive or not. And after watching all this, then take a call whether you want to enter or you don't want to enter. Am I clear? So what are this? These are the 7 issues of what? Industry and competitive analysis. These are the 7 issues of industry and competitive analysis. But the first issue, dominant economic features of industry. Second issue, nature and strength of competition. Third issue, triggers of change. Fourth issue, identify the strongest or weakest competitor. Fifth, likely strategic moves of rival. Sixth, key success factor. And seventh is prospects and financial attractiveness of the industry. So these 7 issues you're going to analyze while doing external environment analysis, and by doing this you will come to know about the opportunities and threats of the industry. Am I clear? Any point till here? Can I go ahead? Okay.